In other news, after high drama centered around the West Bengal Tripura District Magistrate Shailesh Yadav's late-night marriage raid, he has now been relieved following a self-sought suspension for the sake of fair inquiry, he said, into his conduct. Remember, his conduct was questioned by the BJP MLA Ashish Das also, who is now thanking India Today for this coverage of the incident in which this DM had gone all out, beating up the priest and the groom in a late-night raid. Apparently, this DM was, in fact, he landed at this particular marriage party in the marriage celebrations, saying that this was running past the curfew hours in Agartala. He faced a lot of criticism because in this video, as you can see, there was a fair amount of high-handedness in which I mentioned he beat up the priest and also the groom, slapped the priest, he tore up the written permission also for the wedding he himself had signed. 30 people were arrested and released later. A team of police personnel came under attack in Odisha's Mayurbhanj district after they tried stopping a festive gathering in line with COVID guidelines. This incident took place in Dewan Bahali village, where more than 5,000 people reportedly gathered to celebrate Chaiti Parva, which is a hugely popular local festival. When the police officers tried to persuade the people to disperse, the locals attacked the police vehicle, leaving at least 3 police personnel injured, including the ASI of the local police station. The vehicle was also severely damaged in this incident.
गाड़ी फड़ी भांगा भाई कल मना कली मुझे गाड़ी फड़ी भांगा भाई करतुनि आपन को भल पाई आम आसचु कोरोना समय रे गैदरिंग होवा कथा नुहे आपण मैंने जे घर को जातु पुलिस कर्मचारी मु एएसआई आम 2 जन होमगार्ड आम स्टाफ भी इंजर्ड होती गाड़ी तो भांगीदे पूरा रेस्क्यू आम जीवन विकल सब लुचिकी पलि आसलु एसडीओ साहब ओआईसी जाकि हमको आनले.
Well, we have some breaking news just coming in. The Delhi High Court has wrapped the centre over alleged delays in customs clearances for imported oxygen concentrators pending with customs. The High Court was told by the centre that 48,000 oxygen concentrators have been cleared by the customs till the 28th of April. The centre was asked to explain if oxygen concentrators are still pending with customs. The High Court said the centre needs to inform how many have been cleared as of noon today and how many are pending. Why aren't you during the clearances is the question that the High Court is asking the centre. Nalini has more details on that story. Nalini, this delay is criminal, isn't it? This is something that the centre has some serious answering to do. The High Court is upset, asking that these clearances should be expedited. Why aren't they being done?
Well, the High Court had earlier issued specific orders on Saturday stating that all of the customs and all of the oxygen concentrator cylinders as well as any medical equipment that was pending before the customs should be cleared at the earliest, and directions to the central government. Now, in regard to that, the High Court today questioned the centre on how many oxygen concentrators are still pending with the customs. The centres informed the High Court that 48,000 oxygen concentrators have been cleared by the customs till the 28th of April, but the High Court has not accepted that statement. They've said that does not satisfy the court, because what if there were 48 lakh concentrators that had come in, and in regard to that only 48,000 have been cleared. So that's why the High Court has asked the centre to provide complete data of how many oxygen concentrators have been cleared till 12 p.m. today and how many are still pending before the customs. And this data has to be given by the centre before the High Court at 3 p.m. today, when the hearings continuing before the bench of Justices Vipin Sanghi as well as Rekha Palli.
All right, Nalini, thanks for getting us all of those details. Well, Delhi has sought the army's help to fight the monster COVID surge. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has written to Defence Minister Rajnath Singh requesting for assistance from the forces in setting up COVID facilities and running them. The information, in fact, about the High Court, in fact, has sought information on the request of the Delhi government and has said that help. The Delhi government, in fact, has said that help has been sought to set up 10,000 oxygen beds and 1,000 ICU beds in Delhi. The Arvind Kejriwal government has also requested for the army to step in vis-a-vis supplying oxygen as it grapples with the shortage of the life-saving gas. Remember, forces are assisting several state governments in their fight against COVID-19. While COVID care centers are being run by army in several parts of the country, Air Force has also been helping in transporting oxygen tankers to the refilling points. After a delay of 2 days, the national capital will start the vaccination drive for those above the age of 18. This after Delhi government got a quota of 4.5 lakh doses on Saturday. Now, because of the limited supply of vaccines, the centre already has decided that those between the age of 18 to 45 will not be able to have walk-in vaccinations. Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, has also asked people not to go to vaccination centres if they have not registered themselves and if they do not have an appointment. Delhi has reported more than 20,000 new cases of COVID, and the active case tally is almost touching 93,000. 407 people have lost their lives because of the infection in the last 24 hours. Delhi for 2 days in a row is reporting more than 400 deaths.
गवर्नमेंट ने ऐसे 18+ के लिए ओपन किया वैक्सीनेशन, तो हमने इसको रजिस्टर किया एंड यहाँ पर इसको लगाने के लिए आए हैं, सो दैट की जो हेल्थ है वो सही रहे और तब तक कोविड नहीं हुआ है, कोविड हो भी तो वो जान बची रहे।
जी 9 बजे से लाइन पे लगे थे और 10 बजे गेट खुले और उसके बाद थोड़ा मिसमैनेजमेंट था, बट स्टिल इट्स फर्स्ट डे तो ऐसे चलता है। अब बहुत अच्छा सुधार हो गया, अच्छे से लग रही है, कोई परेशानी नहीं हुई ज़्यादा।
बहुत डर है, इसीलिए तो सबसे पहले वैक्सीनेशन रात को भी रजिस्ट्रेशन तो हो नहीं रहा था, हम 12 बजे तक लगे रहे हैं कि कम से कम हमें अपॉइंटमेंट मिल जाए। और वैक्सीनेशन एक तो ये लग रहा है कि ख़त्म होने वाली है, एकदम से साइड पे सब ओवर हो जाता है, तो वही है कि पहले ही जाएं और फटाफट से हमारा नंबर आ जाए। इतना डर है आजकल तो।
आज दिल्ली सरकार के 76 स्कूलों में ये वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ है और यहाँ पर जिस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं कि इसी स्कूल में पैरेलल 5 सेंटर्स बनाए गए हैं, तो इस तरह से पूरी दिल्ली में इस वक्त आज 301 सेंटर्स पर वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ है 18 साल से 45 साल के बीच के लोगों के लिए। और क्योंकि आज पहला दिन है, हम इसको और आगे बढ़ाएंगे। हमारा टारगेट है कि हर स्कूल में इस तरह से कम 10 सेंटर्स हों और अभी इसको धीरे धीरे करके हम 300 स्कूलों तक लेके जाएंगे।
Vaccination for all above 18 years of age drive begins today in Delhi. We're at the Navyug School in Pandara Road, where you can see the vaccination process is yet to begin. People have come in here, they're waiting for the vaccination process to begin. The setup is currently being done by the staff here. These civil defense volunteers, police personnel, medical staff all have reached here, and the preparations are underway to set up the entire vaccination drive. You can see a lot of people have already come here. They're waiting for their vaccine, but some confusion still prevails as some people came here this morning hoping to get registered on the spot. Remember, the government has very clearly said that on-spot registrations are not currently available. If you do not have a booking for your vaccination on the app, that is the CoWIN app or the Arogya Setu app, please do not come and throng the vaccination centers. But here you can see this, all these people have come here. They've gotten their bookings. They're here waiting for the vaccination drive to begin. The government at the moment has around 4.5 lakh vaccines available, which are being given to people across 77 government schools, which have been turned into vaccination centers for this particular drive. There are at least 3 vaccination sites in each vaccination center, and here at the Navyug School you can see the preparations are currently being done by the healthcare and police staff. In New Delhi with cameraman Nasir, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Well, here's an update on vaccination drives from across the country. Take a look.
Mumbai is still reeling under the shortage of the vaccine. Today, the vaccination program for 18 years and above is being conducted only at 5 hospitals and centers in Mumbai. This program is going to run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm at the BKC Jumbo Vaccination Center, but still I can see many Mumbaikars crowding outside the vaccination centers. Many say they still don't have the slots, but feel they may succeed in getting over-the-counter registration. But BMC and the state government has appealed to the people that walk-ins and over-the-counter registrations will not be allowed, and only those people who have registered themselves and have got a slot, only they will get the vaccine, as the vaccine is in short supply. As far as the corona cases in Mumbai are concerned, they are on a decline. From the days when Mumbai used to record more than 10,000 cases, the city is now recording around 3,000 cases. Yesterday, Mumbai recorded 3,672 cases. But the count of active containment zones is still over 100. The count of active sealed buildings is still 903. So the danger is far from over. But at the present moment, what the Mumbai is reeling under is the shortage of vaccine. Though the BMC and the state government says that they are trying their level best to procure the vaccines as soon as possible. With camera person Mahesh More, this is Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, reporting for India Today.
Well, after claiming threats from influential sections of a vaccine order, Covishield maker, the CEO of the Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, has made a rather startling claim. Poonawalla was speaking to Financial Times, said enough orders for COVID vaccines were not put out. He said that his firm would have boosted the production had there been more orders. He said he did not think Serum Institute needed to make more than 1 billion doses a year. The article also quoted Poonawalla saying that COVID-19 vaccine shortage in India will continue through July before it rises. Adar Poonawalla said in July 2021, the production of COVID-19 vaccines will increase from about 6 to 7 crore doses a month to about 10 crore. Poonawalla's statement comes days after India opened vaccinations for all adults from the 1st of May onwards.
आदर पुनावालांनी केलेलं होतं. आज त्यांचं स्टेटमेंट आलं की मी भारतात वापस येणार आहे. तर काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या वतीनं आम्ही त्यांचं स्वागत करतो. त्यांना आपल्या मायभूमीचं देशाची आठवण येऊन देशाच्या जनतेसाठी या कोरोनाच्या महामारीमध्ये लस भारतात तयार करण्याचा त्यांनी निर्णय केलेला आहे, त्याचा आम्ही स्वागत करतो आहे. खरं तर एक गोष्टीचा खुलासा आदर पुनावालांनी केला पाहिजे की आखरी त्याला कोणी धमकवलं होतं.
Listening to what Adar Poonawalla had said on states placing vaccine orders.
50% of our capacities can be sold to state governments and to private hospitals. Now, with limited supply and our obligations that we have to continue giving to the central government, there will be initially very limited supplies. However, it is a welcome move because of the opening of this market. You know, as you said, people can access this in a way that they could not access it earlier. And of course, the age group has come down to the age of 18 that can be vaccinated. So this is what is happening. And you will see in the month of May itself, in the middle to end of May, where you will see these doses being sent out, you know, to private hospitals and to the state governments. So that's where we are at the moment.
A top government panel has suggested that the second wave of COVID-19 would, in fact, can be expected. This suggestion was made to the government on the 2nd of April by a panel that has been appointed by the Government of India to study projections during a pandemic, to study which direction the pandemic would take. This same panel of scientists are now saying that there is going to be a nationwide peak sometime around the 7th of May or even before, but states are peaking differently. Here's more. There will be a second wave in India, and that is expected soon, had warned the Committee on COVID-19 Supermodel on the 2nd of April itself, raising questions on whether this was paid any heed to. Scientists who made this prediction, however, say that they did not expect the second wave to be so ferocious.
Somewhat optimistic estimates for the peak, which have since proven to be incorrect. We thought the second wave would peak out at around between 1 to 1.2 lakhs at the daily maximum. As it turned out, the disease became far more contagious during the month of April. So with the result that the daily case peaks kept climbing and climbing and climbing, and now we are at around 4 lakhs.
This comes at a time when the country is witnessing a critical situation with a rapidly increasing case burden, sending hundreds to hospitals and morgues. The three-member National COVID-19 Supermodel Committee was formed by the central government to make projections about the spatial and temporal spread of the pandemic. They suggest that different states are peaking at different times, but the nationwide peak is expected as early as the 7th of May.
The pandemic basically started in the state of Maharashtra. So Maharashtra is already in a decline. You will see that. Now, other states started peaking a little bit later because the pandemic traveled across the country. So they will peak perhaps not next week, but the week after that. To summarize all of that in one single number, if you take the nationwide total cases, we anticipate a peak by the end of next week.
Also adding that a natural outcome would be a decline in cases start May 7th. Epidemiologists say that credible mathematical projections are necessary to understand and charter the course of the pandemic and tweak the responses around the projections and the predictions. It is clear that this particular panel did tell the government of India that a second wave is expected. What did the government really do about it? Did the government look into these suggestions? And what were the preparations then made to handle this monster raging second wave? The question is yet to be answered. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for